was recording with Diddy Dirty Money when she saw Sean Combs hit Cassie Ventura in the head and then beat her on the ground.
I'm Alice Gaynor outside the federal courthouse where opening statements just concluded in the trial of Sean Diddy Combs, who allegedly helped him cover up crimes like kidnapping, arson, drugs, sex crimes, bribery, and obstruction.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody.
Cassie's legal team introduced a never-before-heard recording, a sync file recovered from an old iPad, and in it, Diddy's voice. "Don't test me, Cass. You know what happens when you push me." The courtroom froze. Diddy turned pale. His pen fell from his hand. Jurors leaned forward. One shook their head slowly. No one had heard this before. Until now. She described a 2017 trip to the Hamptons, where she was allegedly locked in a guest house for 2 days after.
It'd be quite an interesting week.
Like your bit about Puffy.
He said that what we saw was a passion and what lovers in relationships do.
Who to talk to, when to speak. Her life, she said, wasn't love, it was control. And as she spoke, Diddy's grip on reality began to slip. Diddy, once composed and untouchable, now sat slouched, silent, defeated. No longer the mogul in control, but a man watching his legacy dissolve in real time. Even his supporters looked shaken. The jury wasn't taking notes anymore. They were just staring. Without saying a word, 50 took a seat in the gallery, arms crossed, eyes fixed, right on Diddy. It wasn't a performance, it was a warning, and Diddy knew it. His team leaned in. One attorney whispered frantically, but Diddy didn't blink. He was staring at a ghost from the past, and he knew something was coming. When the lunch recess came, reporters rushed to him, and 50 finally spoke. "I've seen this industry protect the..."
We expect to hear later this week from Cassie Ventura's mother and a woman that Ventura said Combs attacked with a wooden hanger.
Break her spirit nor her smile that lights up every room. You did not break the souls of a mother who gives the best hugs and plays the silliest games.
Afterward, that's when the bomb dropped. Inside the courtroom, the chaos was visible. Diddy's legal team had fallen apart. Their polished strategy? Gone. Their new plan? Rumors say they were now debating a pivot. From total denial to emotional appeal. Maybe paint Diddy as a flawed man, a victim of his environment, anything to stop the bleeding. But it was already too late. And then, the audio played.
Richard said Combs tried to hit Cassie with a frying pan before she dropped to the floor.
Back inside, Cassie returned to the stand. But this time, something was different. She wasn't just testifying, she was confronting. Her voice was steady, strong. "I'm not scared anymore," she said. "Not when people are finally listening." And the courtroom felt it. So did the jury. So did Diddy. The prosecution moved quickly. They brought in 2 new witnesses, former staffers with first-hand accounts of abuse and manipulation. A former assistant said she was told to track Cassie's movements hourly. Another, a tour manager, described Diddy punching a wall after screaming at Cassie behind closed doors. The defense objected. The judge overruled. The jury was locked in. Outside the courthouse, the reaction was instant, viral. Within hours, 50 Cent's statement was everywhere. 60 million views in less than 12 hours. And suddenly, the silence...
When Sean Diddy Combs entered the courtroom, he was wearing a sweater, a collared shirt, light-colored pants.
50 Cent's been warning us about Diddy for years, and now people are finally catching on. Back in 2006, 50 dropped the bomb.
In the music industry started to break. Usher unfollowed Diddy. Mary J. Blige deleted every photo with him. Bieber erased old posts and dropped the line. Sometimes, we learn too late who people really are. And that wasn't even the craziest part. Behind the scenes, 50 Cent had been working with Cassie's legal team for weeks. He'd given them everything. Documents, phone records, photos, even a former bodyguard's statement detailing disturbing things he'd seen at Diddy's private parties. But that wasn't all. 50 announced he was personally funding an independent investigation into Diddy's past. And that's when people started panicking. The gallery went silent, even the judge paused. For over a decade, 50 Cent had been throwing jabs at Diddy online. Cryptic posts, old interview clips, shady comments, but no one expected this. He walked in like a man on a mission. And what happened next? No one saw coming. Then it happened. As she recounted a 2018 incident at his Miami estate, Diddy lost it. Slamming his hand on the table, he shouted, "That's not what happened!" Gasps echoed across the courtroom. The judge raised her gavel. "Mr. Combs, this is your only warning." But Diddy wasn't done. He turned to the back of the room, pointed at 50, and snarled, "You've been waiting for this, haven't you? You'll regret it." But 50? He just leaned back, crossed one leg.
The defense countered in its opening by saying Sean Combs...
50, please be my friend. You're breaking my heart.
Puff was like, "So when we gonna get the chance to kick it, like we could just hang out? Why don't we go shopping? I'll pay for it." And I was like, this just said.
And stared him down. You won't believe who walked into the courtroom during Diddy's federal trial. Cameras were rolling, jaws dropped, and all eyes locked onto the back of the room. 50 Cent had just entered, unannounced. But he wasn't there for a publicity stunt. He came with a message, and what he revealed would trigger a complete unraveling of Diddy's carefully protected empire. And the internet? It erupted. Old clips resurfaced, interviews from 2009, where 50 said, "There's things about Puff that just don't sit right with me. That man got secrets." Now those secrets weren't just rumors. They were evidence. They were real. A major producer who had remained anonymous for over a decade finally posted, "I saw things. I kept quiet. Not anymore." The floodgates were opening. Cardi B tweeted, "Protect women no matter how powerful the man is." Viola Davis reposted Cassie's testimony. And Revolt, Diddy's own media company, started holding emergency meetings. Sponsors were pulling out, fast.
And what has been an explosive start in the trial of Sean Combs today.
Asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes.
And through it all, 50 Cent sat there, unmoving, watching, like he had seen this coming for years, like he knew this day would arrive. This wasn't just a trial anymore. This was the collapse of an empire, a courtroom showdown turned cultural reckoning, and the man who sparked it all didn't even say a word during testimony. He just walked in, sat down, and let the truth burn.
She said she witnessed Combs come downstairs into the kitchen, take a skillet with eggs in it, and attempt to hit Cassie Ventura.
An hour away from testimony resuming in Diddy's federal sex trafficking trial.
Turned the house down. Because in the end, when silence breaks, the truth doesn't whisper, it roars.